Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and a well for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests and graduates, I would like to invite Uncle Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Buju Mulinul, everyone. Good morning. Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bullangai, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, or 250 now, he described the people he encountered as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They were naked, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, and no homelessness. Armies were unheard of, as were forts, jails, or even fences. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000, 30,000 years. Now remember, this is not a dream or an ideal. This is normal life for us and for the longest time. And there is no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. However, we're a clever people and there is still much magic in the world, I like to believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, we are naturally happy, and normally very good at looking after each other and the earth. I would just suggest you share your skills with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that we can put together a world that we can be proud of and one that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, I am pleased to introduce Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, Louise Mason.
Thank you, Chris, for your always very warm welcome to country. Colleagues, guests, families and friends of our graduands, and most importantly, all our graduands. It is my great pleasure to welcome you here today to this graduation ceremony. It is our hope that today is a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. If we have any small children, I'm not sure whether we do in the room today, please feel free to let them run around and even be noisy. We don't mind that in our ceremonies because they are our students of tomorrow. Today is a milestone day. Today we celebrate the wonderful achievements of those of you about to graduate. Completing a degree is never easy. It requires an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you've made many sacrifices along the way in pursuit of your goals. You've worked very hard to get to this point, and you should feel proud of what you've achieved. We as a university are just as proud of your achievements, and I'm pleased to be able to congratulate each and every one of you today. I also want to especially welcome the families, supporters and friends of all our graduands here with us as invited guests. The fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share in one of the greatest days of their lives is proof positive that you've been an important influence. So to our invited guests, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. Our graduands may not realise it, but you're about to participate in one of the oldest of Europe's social rituals. If you were to pick a date, say 1500 AD, and look to see what social institutions were around and are still around today, you would find only about 60, including the Roman Catholic Church, the parliaments of England, Iceland and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons. All the rest are universities. In fact, graduation ceremonies are even older than that. For more than 800 years, graduates have been donning gowns just like the ones you're wearing and participating in ceremonies just like this one. And since those earliest graduations, the ceremony has remained almost unchanged, a defining feature in the life of every university and its students. We all realise that Macquarie is not one of those ancient universities. In fact, we are just over 50 years young. And though we're among one of the youngest universities in the world, we're very proud to take part in this time-honoured ceremony today. We all know that youth, however, has its advantages. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We enjoy an enviable reputation for world-leading research excellence, research engagement and impact. We are continually progressing by extending our research, partnerships, course offerings and facilities. We have a proud tradition of innovation and discovery, and our pioneering approach is built upon a collaborative and connected learning community. This is a very exciting time for Macquarie University amidst much change, as the vision for this remarkable campus continues to unfold. No doubt you would have witnessed all the development happening around campus coming here today. We have more than 220,000 graduates living in more than 140 countries. It's very clear that we're looking forward and we're on the move, and so are each of you. Some of the things we all value so much about Macquarie, however, will not change. When I was a student here, and during my time on council, a defining feature of Macquarie was and remains the friendliness and inclusiveness of our staff and students. This is inherent to our culture, and I anticipate that it always will be. And remember, you will always be welcome here. Macquarie University will always be a leader in teaching and learning, and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. However, our collective journey is about building community, where we have shared values, where we share things in common, and where we care about each other, when our points of view on some matters might even diverge. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. Distinguished guests, academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly, our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University on this grand occasion. In just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we so proudly call Macquarie University. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker. Alan Sunderland is an author and journalist. He spent 40 years working in public broadcasting at SBS and the ABC, and is the winner of 2 Walkley Awards. He was a reporter, producer, and newsroom manager. He was the political editor for SBS during the Keating years, and he finished his career in public broadcasting as the editorial director of the ABC, with overall responsibility for editorial standards across news, current affairs, drama, comedy, and general programming. Since leaving the ABC, he has been appointed a director of LINA, an organisation that supports local independent news providers. He is also an independent journalist member of the Australian Press Council. He is the author of a new book on journalism practice and ethics, The 10 Rules of Reporting. I now invite Alan Sunderland to deliver the occasional address.
Thank you, Deputy Chancellor, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, graduates, graduands, family and friends. So let me begin by warmly congratulating everyone in this room who's graduating today. It's such a momentous day for you all. There's nothing quite like the experience of coming up here on stage in front of your family, your friends and the university community to receive the proof and the reward of those years of hard work and dedication. So, all of that does fill me with a little bit of apprehension and make me feel like a bit of an imposter standing up in front of you making these remarks. You see, on the wall of my study at home is my framed document certifying that I received my Bachelor of Arts from Melbourne University in April 1984. I realise that's long before most of you were born. The only problem is it's not really true. You see, I did do an arts degree in Melbourne, but I actually finished in 1981, 3 years earlier. I'd done it part-time while I was a cadet journalist at the ABC, squeezing in lectures, tutes and library visits around my full-time work, covering court cases, car crashes, demonstrations, early morning police rounds and everything else. So I missed most of my classes. I do recall my tutor bumped into me in the corridor in my final year and said, "You're going to fail, aren't you?" I scraped through. But ahead of my big graduation day, I got a letter from the university telling me I had an outstanding library fine of about $2. And until I paid it, I would not be allowed to graduate. Did I pay it? No, of course not. Being a young man and full of vinegar, I wrote a stinging letter back, slamming their insensitive pettifogging and their threats of withholding my degree for such trivial nonsense, and told them they could keep their meaningless piece of paper. That really showed them. 3 years later, I quietly paid the fine and got my graduation certificate in the mail in a plain brown wrapper. I was tempted to bring it along today and ask the Deputy Chancellor if she wouldn't mind presenting it to me on stage, but, you know, I've moved on. So why am I telling you this? What's the point? Well, I guess the point is that today matters. I realise that a little bit late, but today matters. All of this matters. No matter what path you took to get here, you have achieved something important, something worth celebrating. You are a different person to the one you were when you first walked into this university. Of course, you know things, you've learnt things, you have new information, new skills, new ideas. Hopefully, you also have new ways of thinking, new relationships and new friends. Those are all things to celebrate. But in all of that, there is one more thing to celebrate, possibly the most important thing of today, of all. It's a chance to celebrate the fact that today is not the end of something, it's the beginning of something. Each one of us takes the qualification, the certificate, and heads out into the world armed with some knowledge and some skills to start something new, the great new adventures of your life. Of course, I don't know all the many different paths your lives will take you down from today, where your particular qualifications will lead you, and what your own adventures will be. But I want to give you 2 pieces of advice. I figure that's probably what I'm here for. Just 2 things to remember. Well, 3 if you include always pay your fines. In more than 40 years of journalism, I've been privileged to see a lot of things and travel to a lot of places. I've seen the best and the worst that people can be, and I've had the privilege of telling lots of stories and even witnessing some important moments in history. But no matter how smart I thought I was, or how much knowledge and experience and education I thought I was bringing to the table, in all that time since I left university, I've really only learned 2 things. The first is that what you hear will always be more important than what you say. I wrote a book about journalism last year, and the first thing I said about good reporting is that it listens more than it talks. No matter how much you think you know, no matter how strong your opinions or your passions are, you will always be better off by engaging your eyes and ears before you engage your mouth. I have no doubt that it applies to every profession, but the greatest asset any journalist can have is their ability to listen. So, the second thing I want to leave you with is this. If you ever come across an important issue, any important issue, where you're convinced that there's only one correct view, only one conclusion that any reasonable person must reach on that issue, then you simply haven't thought about it enough. I'm not talking about simple facts like whether 1 and 1 equals 2, whether the earth is round or flat. I'm talking about the big, tough issues that matter on a daily basis, like war, the economy, abortion, gay rights, public versus private education, drug use. If you can't see how reasonable, honourable people operating in good faith can reach wildly different conclusions on important issues, then you're missing something and you need to look more closely. I'm not saying you shouldn't have strong, passionate views on issues. I'm not saying you shouldn't reach firm conclusions about matters. And I'm not saying there's no such thing as right and wrong. But I am saying that there will always be reasonable people with reasonable views who disagree with you. They won't all be idiots, provocateurs, bigots or cynics. Shockingly, they might even be right. Understanding that and making it your job to explore and try and appreciate that issue is, of course, at the heart of great journalism. But as is so often the case, I believe it's also something that everyone can and should do, both in their professional and their personal life. The world today could do with a few more open minds to go with all the loud, blinkered opinions out there. So let's have a quick example. As it happens, I came across quite a challenging example just a few weeks ago. It was an extraordinary article I read. I think it was in the Huffington Post, written by a social worker who specialised in providing hospice care for the dying. This social worker was caring for someone whose views were so extreme, so illogical and so frustratingly wrong-headed for the majority of us that almost everyone would laugh at them, ridicule them and dismiss them without a thought. The person he was caring for was in his mid-50s and dying of lung cancer because he was a conspiracy theorist who was convinced the entire medical profession was corrupt and just trying to kill people. COVID was a scam, vaccines were poison, and the kind of procedures that would have identified his cancer early and saved or prolonged his life, MRIs, PET scans, CT scans, They were all part of an elaborate conspiracy by the deep state cartel to implant microscopic scanning devices or even to give him cancer in order to make money and get rid of the people who were onto them. So no tests, no treatment until it was too late, and now he was dying as his helpless and frustrated wife looked on. Now, I don't know too many people who wouldn't look at that and say, well, that's what happens when you believe in complete and utter nonsense. Even the dying man himself turned to the carer at one point and said, "Do you think I'm a fool?" His carer said no, without hesitation, no. You see, the carer had spent enough time with the dying man to know a bit about his life, growing up in foster care, going from there into the army, combat tours in the Middle East that left him a thin-skinned, angry alcoholic. He slowly became convinced that he didn't fit in, that the people in power didn't care a fig about him. And from there, it was a short step to finding meaning and a sense of community in conspiratorial beliefs that provided a pattern in the world that he hadn't been able to find anywhere else. It led to the social worker exploring a new link, between post-traumatic stress disorder and a susceptibility to conspiracies in some specific situations. It was a new and important insight. And so when the dying man asked if he were a fool, his carer said, "No, you made the best decision you could based on what you thought was right." None of that makes what he thought was right actually right. But in exploring why people of good faith can actually hold wildly different views, in this case extremely wild, we open up our minds to a richer understanding of the world. Too many forces in the world today try to push us into taking sides and picking teams. You're left or right, you're Liberal or Labor, you're Green or One Nation, progressive or conservative, right or wrong. Join the right club and you'll never have to wrestle with a complex issue again. That kind of simplistic nonsense tends to be and needs to be resisted. By all means, have your opinions, develop your passions, reach your conclusions about the things that matter. But always remember that opposing views have often been reached with just as much passion, careful thought and conviction. Exploring and discovering them is always better than assuming they're nonsense. So, that's it. That's all I've got. Listen more than you speak, and always remember there are at least two sides to any important issue in life, no matter how tempting it is to forget that. Thank you for the privilege of allowing me to speak today. And when you walk out that door, embrace and enjoy everything that happens next. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, for that wonderful occasional address, and also congratulations on that achievement back in 1981/1984 at that other university. Yeah. As Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees on those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. I now call on our Acting Registrar, Professor Dominic Parrish, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for these awards.
Deputy Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees to which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Candidates, please be seated. Deputy Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Arts. I now call on Professor Louise Darson, Deputy Dean, Research and Innovation for the Faculty of Arts, to present the graduates. Professor Darson.
Deputy Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Arts. Students and staff from the Faculty of Arts develop critical, inquiring and curious minds. They work together within and across disciplinary boundaries to ask questions about socially complex problems. They identify paths of research, analyse and communicate ideas in creative formats, and reflect on the skills and knowledge they need in order to understand the world, past, present and future. Students are encouraged to use their skills and talents to connect with local and global communities. This faculty includes research and study areas in ancient history, anthropology, education, English, geography and planning, Indigenous studies, international studies, law, media, music, communication and cultural studies, sociology, philosophy, modern history, politics and international relations, security studies and criminology. Through transformative education, Faculty of Arts graduates are equipped to face societal challenges with deep evaluative minds, strong reasoning and a well-established ethical compass. They explore their creativity and passions while developing transferable skills like communication, critical thinking and digital literacy. These are skills that are extremely sought after by employers. Graduates, as you reflect on the last few years, I'm sure you can all agree that Macquarie University is home to a wonderful community of people. The relationships and networks you have formed will continue to serve you well into your future, as professional contacts, as academic mentors, and as lifelong friendships. Thank you. Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Arts whom you have admitted to degrees or awarded diplomas. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Anna Maria Alexic. Emily Chan. Abarami Ravintaran. Jasmine Wu. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts and the degree of Bachelor of Science, Jeffrey Sung. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Liliana Battle. Ned Bukaritsa. Yingtung Sabrina Chan. Wen Xin Cheng. Joshua Cheng. Cameron Curry. Chiena Feng. Jennifer Gray. Madeline Hawkins. Hong Fei Kwang. Samantha Lacey. Emma Lambert. Alan Lee. Eleanor Linton. Erin Madaro. Elissa Nguyen. Oliver O'Kane. Emma Oldmeadow. Nalab Osman. Awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Julia Pemberton. Cody Ramsey. Rahima Rayan. Maisa Sukari. Daryl Tai. Ziqing Tong. Sophia Wall. Nicole Watt. Lachlan Wilson. Annika Windsor. Yu Shi Yan. Ya Wen Young. Si Chuan Yang. Jian Xiong Zhou. Yifan Zhou. David Zhu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies. Sienna Pryor. Lauren Wu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media. Tiana Ray Cambronero. Max Darry. Elijah Flores. Mu Yang Lu. Timothy McNee. Boysen Pakatotohan. Isabel Ronsley. Isabel Mary Savage. Anju Umezu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media and Communications. Hein Tet Aung. Thea Azuni. Sabesh Bista. Min Hiao Kao. Mariana Conti. Alexander Erskine. Emily Focard. Mitchell Greer. Shannon Griesberg. Hannah Gez. Ogachukwu Ike. Laura Johnson. Karam Killinge. Anthony Lim. Lauren Mainhoff. Emily Marsden. Lachlan Mitchell. Nicole Ng. Aidan Noor. Bonfilia Pereira. Nifam. Swagata Lakshmi Roy Chowdhury. Cameron Simmons. Gagandeep Singh. Zoe Saunas. Ian Walsh. Shuning Vivian Yo. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Security Studies. Troy Altaparnak. Olivia Bailey. Jordan Borg. Sinead Dunphy. Irina Skandar. Daniel Helms. Kirsty Henry. Samuel Jaggs. Francine Jepson. Claudia John. Anthea Jones. Nairi Kellyan. Susanna Coulis. Awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. William Marrison. Pippi Namana. Brooke Newell. Mitchell Nicholas. Zachary Parkin. Bryce Simpson. Frank Anthony Starr. Lachlan Stewart. Mark Wilson Sachs. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Creative Industries and Master of International Relations, Grace Boyle. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Creative Industries and Master of Media and Communications, Jonas Awi. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Creative Industries with the degree of Master of Media, Kiana Beatriz Baterna. Aditi Bipin Chandra Vora. present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Criminology and Master of Security and Strategic Studies, Emily Hennessy. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Cybersecurity Analysis and Master of Security and Strategic Studies, Dolgun Amazaya. Yeah. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Intelligence and Master of Security and Strategic Studies, Jessica Freeth. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Business and Master of Media and Communications, Janine Sousas. Francis Lorenzo Visco. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Counter-Terrorism, Jessica Bunting. Mohammed Tawhidi. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Creative Industries, Sophie Adelia. Jack Gambitsky. Niroj Lama. Yunglan Zhuang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Creative Writing, Ashley Duck. Jodie Ramodian. Rebecca Smith. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Cybersecurity Analysis, Mustarin Alam. Sharon Ram. Rifa Ritu. Claudia Williams Forsyth. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Intelligence, Simone Ayub. Lane Rennick. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Media, Zuleika Monesi. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Media and Communications, Garoma Burambazar. Kenny Dungall. Rajat Nirmal Gandhi. Christine Joy Nocido. Sana So. Lan Yong. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Planning, Alex Shamir. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Security and Strategic Studies, Michael Kayongo. Nicola Ogle. Deputy Chancellor, a higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is research. The Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to graduates who have demonstrated the capacity to conduct research independently by forming a distinct contribution to the knowledge of the subject, and to afford evidence of coherence and originality shown either by the discovery of new facts or the exercise of independent critical power. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Adrielle Britton, for a thesis entitled The Flourishing Child, Representations of Wellbeing in Contemporary Children's Literature. Dr. Daniel Carnegie, for a thesis entitled Chasing the Dawn's Early Light, Manifest Destiny, An American Identity from Rabbit Run to Westworld. Dr. Graham Friedman, for a thesis entitled The Weaponised Witness in Apartheid's Political Trials, Shame, Terror and Storytelling in the Waging of Lawfare. Deputy Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentations of the graduates from the Faculty of Arts.
Deputy Chancellor, I call on Dr. Graham Friedman, who graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Graham Friedman.
Deputy Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and guests. I'm honoured to be speaking here on a day I suspect many of us thought might never come. In addition to the usual academic challenges, we've had to face the extraordinary pressures of the COVID pandemic. But the fact that we are all gathered here today is testimony to our determination and resilience. And so today, we celebrate our achievements and hold hope for the future, one in which we will take the deeper teachings of our studies with us. My PhD study is based on my lived experience of supporting anti-apartheid freedom fighters in South Africa during a time of terrible brutality. I was caught up in a polarized world in which violence seemed like part of the political solution. And as much as we were fighting a just war, apartheid is a crime against humanity. What my younger self did not know was this: the way in which we fight for social justice will determine what sort of peace might follow. My research tells me that if we take up a position of we are good, they are evil, violence is inevitable. We want to destroy the evil other, and we rationalize that it is the just and right thing to do. But in our morally complex world, this is a simplification that will come back to bite us. The only certainty being that there will be trauma and the cycle of violence will continue. Today, we face a growing pandemic of polarization. We see this not just in literal bombings or other acts of terror, but in the way people think. Extremist behavior is a symptom of a much bigger problem, one that is also evidenced in the growing attacks on democracy worldwide, in the denial of environmental destruction, in everyday racism and gender discrimination, and in other forms of abuse. So how do we face this pandemic? My doctoral study is emphatic on this point. We must be willing to challenge the stories we tell ourselves about the world. We must recognize that we are very good at constructing narratives that cast others as the monster, and very poor at owning the parts of ourselves that may fuel and sustain cycles of conflict. Political violence almost always occurs when a group feels disempowered, robbed, and shamed by another group. We are gathered here in a place of complex storytelling. Universities are designed to foster the commitment to view not just the polarized position, but the nuanced spaces in between. Faculties of arts exist to challenge us to think and act with creativity, courage, and introspection, the kind of thinking that keeps hearts and minds open. My research took me to some dark places. I would never have been able to go there without the steady and brilliant mind of my supervisor. It takes a village not only to raise a child, but to educate a student. And those villagers are seated here today or joining us online. Our families and friends, our mentors, our supervisors, the academic and support staff that keep this institution going. We, your graduates, offer our deepest gratitude to all of you. Macquarie University faced the crisis of COVID by continuing to provide an extraordinary learning environment. In so doing, the university has shown us how to always be students of the world, to remain hungry for knowledge, to interrogate ourselves, and to understand how engaging with a stranger's story enriches our thinking with empathy and compassion, to the extent that we may begin to tell a kinder story, and in so doing tackle the current pandemic of polarization. Congratulations again to my fellow graduates, and thank you for the opportunity to speak here today.
Please join me again in thanking now Dr. Graham Friedman for those wonderful words. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh mio bambino caro, mi piace bello e bello quando rein porta rasa a compirar l'anello. Sì, sì, ci voglio andare. E se non m'assendo, andrai sui ponti vecchio, ma per buttarmi in arena mi stracca e mi tormento. Oh, Deo, vorrei morir. Ah, oh, pietà, pietà. Ah, oh, pietà,
There's more.
pietà.
That was Angela Brewer, and Angela is the founder and artistic director of Coast Opera Australia and joins us in all our graduations. Please join me in thanking her again. Some more people to acknowledge. Please also join me in thanking our musicians. On the organ, Heather Mowen-Boyd. And on the trumpet, Bruce Helmers. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the representatives from our alumni community who come along to every graduation to help make everything run smoothly. Please join me in thanking them. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly, I hope, not the end of your association with us. From today onwards, you are now part of that bigger Macquarie family, our 222,000 strong alumni network, spanning across those 140 countries around the globe, all welcome you to the fold. This is the beginning of the rest of your lives. We will look forward to seeing you back on campus to attend alumni events, perhaps to undertake further study, or simply to visit our beautiful campus and reminisce about the good times you spent here as a Macquarie University student. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. I urge you to commit to lifelong learning and inquiry. to set ambitious goals for yourselves, and to continue the hard work that has already brought you so far. And remember, you don't have to be Einstein to change the world. At Macquarie, we pride ourselves on developing each and every one of our students into engaged community citizens and leaders. So I urge you to always give thought to what you can do for others along the way. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a real difference to someone's life. Sometimes a kind gesture or a kind word can mean an enormous amount. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. My hope is that, as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned here, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of our community. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. It is also my hope that you always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom are here with you today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm going to ask you to do a few things. Firstly, could all our new graduates please stand? Please place your testamas on your seats and turn around and face your families and friends. Please now give them a mighty round of applause. You can turn around now, but don't sit down. Leave your testamas where they are. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you throughout your journey. Please join me in thanking them. Please remain standing, but do remember to pick up your testamas. You've worked very hard for them. Shortly, the official party will leave the courtyard and will be followed by the graduates. As we do, our organist will play the traditional recessional music of graduation, which has been played at ceremonies over the centuries. Again, to our newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for futures filled with success, satisfaction, but most importantly, happiness. Now, could I please ask everyone to stand, and I will lead the official party out to be followed by the graduates. Then please join us for light refreshments. Thank you.